Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, it is with my pleasure to give you all a walk around and tour of a very unique and special Bronco. This here is a 2021 Ford Bronco First Edition. The First Edition is a very, very cool package, and that is because it's technically a Sasquatch or similarly equipped as a Sasquatch. And as you can tell, you are going to get things such as an aftermarket front end here. As you can see, you have 35-inch tires here, which look amazing. A pretty unique interior. You get the hardtop. You get the little side things here, which look really awesome. And of course, you do get that Bronco graphic there. But what makes this vehicle even more special is that this vehicle in particular was limited to 7,000 units when it went on sale in 2021, which makes sense because 2021 was the return of this generation Bronco. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's check this one out. As you can see, the Bronco First Edition does come with a couple of things here on the key fob, which includes things such as your lock, unlock, your remote start, and your panic alarm. To remote start the vehicle, just make sure the vehicle is locked, and double click the remote start button twice, and the engine will begin to turn on. And after waiting a few seconds, let's go ahead and double click it again, and it will shut right back off. Starting off here in the front, as you can see, you have a pretty nice and unique Bronco grille. And as you can tell, you do have the aftermarket off-road piece right here, which looks really cool, as well as an aftermarket front bumper here, which looks pretty amazing, as well as the recovery hooks right down there. You do have LED daytime running lights with LED projector headlamps. As you can see, we're taking a look at a set of Goodyear tires on 17-inch wheels. These measure 315 70R17s all the way around. Or if you're talking about this from an off-road perspective, these are 35s. You have your First Edition badge right here with the Sasquatch trim right in there, as you can see. With that being said, the Ford Bronco First Edition, just like all Ford models, does come standard with a smart key access system, allowing easy access to both the exterior as well as the interior. To do so, just make sure you have the key fob in your pocket. There's a touch sensor right here. Put your hand in, and the vehicle will indicate unlocking to jump on in. And of course, to lock the vehicle, just simply tap this button here, and it will indicate locking. The exterior color of this one is finished off in lightning blue metallic with the ebony leather interior. Starting off here on the door panel, as you can see, you do have some hard touch plastic material as expected on the Bronco, but it does look pretty nice. You have some soft touch materials down here, and aluminum door handle here, your unlock and lock switches there. A little area where you can store some decent items through this little net. And of course, this is the handle to get on in. And you have this to assist you to get on in as well. One other thing to point out is that this vehicle, like I said, does have the hardtop. And of course, when you open and close the door, when you open the door, the glass here will drop about an inch for clearance. And then when you close the door, it will go back to the upright position. Along with that smart key access system, this vehicle does come standard with a push button ignition. Just simply keep it in your pocket or in the vehicle itself, put your foot on the brake, and hit the button to go. Very nice. This Bronco here does come standard with a fully leather wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel, which is very nice. You have controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. You're going to have controls right here, which deals with your cruise control as well as your lane departure. 4 collision warning switches right there. Your audio buttons are right here. And then to the right, you're going to have your hands-free telephone and Bluetooth controls. Main menu switches here. And then this is going to be for your multimedia. So if you want to fast forward or go back a track, that's what this is for here. As you can see, we're taking a look at one main gauge here, and that's going to be your speedometer to the left. And then everything else is going to be here on this digital display. Now, as you can see, we're showing that we are low on fuel, but we're not going to drive this vehicle. And the tire is low because it did get cold this morning. Now, as you can see, we're taking a look at a couple of different things here on the screen, such as your current speed, your tachometer, your oil temperature, as well as your fuel range. Down below, that's going to show your mileage to empty, and of course, your current odometer reading, which this one here has just over 28,000 miles on it. Now, with that being said, if we use this little switch right over here, and this little area, we can cycle through a couple of different screens. So as you can see, we're going to go from oil temperature to transmission temperature, battery voltage, your off-road information, as you can see there, as well as your tire pressure monitoring system, your pitch and roll, power distribution, your tire pressure, as you can see, your different gauges, as you can see there, turbo gauge, your coolant temperature, battery voltage, turbo boost, and then back to oil temperature. Or let's say we go even further than that. You're going to go to your main menu here, and it's going to give you things such as your My View. That, of course, is going to deal with a couple different things. So we click OK on that. Okay, so that there is My View. Okay. So we go down to trip and fuel. That's going to give you trip information, average fuel economy information, and all that stuff. Off-road information, navigation, phone, audio, and different settings. Coming over here, we are looking at a 12-inch productivity display here, which is directly from the Ford F-150. And as you can see, it's very easy to use and very easy to get used to if you've been in an F-150 before. Now, I've spent a good amount of time in F-150s, and I've gotten very used to the system here, but as you can see, it still is worth mentioning a couple of different aspects. So first and foremost, we're taking a look at your current audio. As you can see there, you have your different sources, what's playing on the radio. That's going to be to either AM, FM, or Sirius XM radio. You have your direct tune, which is going to help you to adjust the different audio settings. You have your preset stations down here. You have your fastback or fast forward buttons down there. You're going to have your menu switches down here. And then, of course, on top, you're going to have your current time, as well as exterior temperature. And then to the right is going to show your average fuel economy, which in this case is around 16.6 miles per gallon. Now, as you can see, coming down here, we're going to go to phone. You can connect the phone to the vehicle. As you can see, there are already several put in here, so we're going to ignore that. Come over to navigation. Navigation in this vehicle is quite good, as you can see there. It looks nice and well detailed. You're going to have a couple different screens here on the left, which is going to deal with your menu, search, recents, as well as your favorite destinations. Coming over to apps, you're going to find mobile apps, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as mobile app help. Coming to settings, this is going to be the comprehensive list of different settings for the vehicle. And as you can see, it shows as follows. You have radio, phone list, sync, navigation, sound, vehicle, clock, general, display, connectivity, vehicle hotspot, mobile apps, software updates, Ford Assistant, Amazon Alexa, 911 Assist, and valet mode. So let's say, for example, we want to go and check out to see if there's any software updates. You just click on software updates, and it's going to show that, there isn't any right now, but you can see there you can schedule updates, you can have update details, or you can have your automatic updates enabled right there, which is pretty cool. As you can see, let's say we want to go to next over here, your vehicle information. So it's going to show things such as your 30-minute max idle, rear occupant alert, my key, your onboard modern serial number, remote start setup, windows and wipers, lighting, ambient lighting, as well as your locks. Let's say we want to go to general settings here. And it's going to deal with units of measurement, such as temperature, measurement unit, tire pressure unit, language, touchscreen beep, about sync, software licenses here, send feedback or reset. So overall, just a quick look of the settings portion of the Ford Bronco. And then coming to features, is going to include things such as your driver assistance, zone lighting, as well as your owner's manual. Pretty cool stuff to see. Coming up here, on top of that, you're going to have 3 different controls which all deal with your suspension. Traction control button right here to turn on or off, hazard button switch there, and this, I believe, is going to deal with your towing. You also even have a little speaker up there and a USB area where you can plug in a device right up there towards the glass window there, which is pretty cool. Coming down below that, you are going to have your volume knob and tuning knobs. You're going to have different controls here. Auto stop start, you can turn on or off, parking sensors, and this is your camera right here. As you can see, pretty good camera quality as well as a 360 camera. You're going to have controls here for your audio down here. Coming down here, as you can see, we are going to be looking at your max AC, fan positioning, auto AC, your fan speed, rear ventilation, AC controls, as well as front and front passenger heated seats, which is not too bad out today, so probably lower that to a level 1. And then, of course, you do have a heated steering wheel, which you can turn on or off. And you do also have your dual zone climate control as well, which is pretty cool. Coming down below that, you are going to have an area where you can put your phone to charge wirelessly, or you can charge it via the USB right there, USB-C or regular USB. The Bronco does come standard with a 10-speed automatic transmission. And as you can see there, when you put it into reverse, it does give you a nice backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel, as you can see. You also have a 360 camera, as I showed you guys a little while ago. You also have that widescreen view as well as a top-down view too, which is pretty cool. You have the widescreen view, like you guys saw, but except this is going to be widening out the screen for the entirety of the backup camera. And then you have a split screen view right here, which is pretty cool. Okay. You do have your different GOAT modes right here, which stands for goes over any terrain. And you also have your 4-wheel drive modes here. So GOAT stands for goes over any terrain, as you can see there, and it looks really nice. Which brings us back up to the screen here when we toggle through the GOAT modes. You're going to start off with normal, eco, slippery, mud/ruts, sand, Baja, rock crawl, that's pretty much it. You do have your window switches right here, child window lock here, and then you do have controls for which mirror you're going to adjust on this side. Coming over to the glove box, as you can see, I'm actually zoom the camera out a little bit. Coming over to the glove compartment, as you can see, you have a small little storage cubby here, which is not too bad. And then you have a very good amount of room. You have a USB area here, and I believe an outlet down there. Looks to be a USB-C, which is nice. The seats in the Bronco First Edition are very nice and very comfortable. They do have leather in there, so it's going to feel very, very supple and and just overall a very premium experience in the Bronco here. You do have the stitching that comes throughout the seats here, which look nice. You have the prancing, or kind of the bucking Bronco right there, which looks really cool and a great attention to detail. Headrest is also very nice as well. And then coming over here, you do have a very nice, very decent glove box, and as you can see, it's not dampened. And then come over here to the far left, you do have some extra controls, headlight controls, your mirrors, as mirror controls, as well as your gauge dimmer switches. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and let's check out the rest of the Ford Bronco First Edition. Coming into the back of the Ford Bronco, as you can see, materials do carry throughout into the back seats. Very nice and comfortable leather materials, and the stitching does look good as well. As you can see, it continues throughout. As you can see here, you do have little nets for your pockets on both the left and on the right sides. You're going to have controls for your windows, as well as your traditional plug-in right there, USB and USB-C, and your traditional wall outlet right there next to that, which is pretty nice. And then up here, pad armrest with 2 cup holders. As you can see, the Ford Bronco does come standard with the Easy Fuel capless fuel filler, which makes it easy to fill up at the gas station, as well as an illustration of how to do it if you're using a traditional gas tank. You also have this very unique illustration of all the Ford Broncos that came before it, going all the way back to the early 60s. The Ford Bronco First Edition does come with a spare tire in the back. It does also come with LED taillights. You do have your tow hitch back here, and when equipped with the towing package, it can tow upwards of around 3,500 pounds. As you can see, coming into the back of this one here, it does have a couple of nice things. As you can see, you do have your all-weather floor mats, you do have a couple of different pieces of equipment, but we're talking mostly about the cargo area here, which, as you can see, we're looking at right around 35.6 cubic feet of space. And when you expand that second row by folding it down, you will be getting upwards of 77.6 cubic feet of space. You do have your piano black mirror covers with the LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Ford Bronco First Edition, it came exclusively with the 2.7-liter turbocharged V6. It's made to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it's 4-wheel drive. If you put regular octane fuel, you'll be getting 315 horsepower and around 410 pound-feet of torque. However, if you go for 91 and higher octane, you'll be getting 330 horsepower and around 430 pound-feet of torque. Overall, very good and pretty impressive numbers for this vehicle. All right, guys, so now sitting inside of the Ford Bronco First Edition, all I can say is that this truck, or I should really be calling it an SUV, but it's really kind of a truck, as you can tell, is very impressive. I have to be honest here. I like the way that this one was spec'd, how it looks. It's very impressive. It looks really nice. And overall, I really just like the way that this one is finished off. Now, a few other things to touch over here, of course, as you can see, you do have your visors. As you can tell, they do come down, which look pretty cool. You do have your 3 garage home link right up there, as you can see. Your different aux switches. You have controls for your lights up there. And then these little clips you can use to actually take off the hardtop of the Bronco if you want, for a more open air experience. But it's things like that and other things amongst what we discussed in this video is why the Bronco is still a very good choice for those who are looking for something that's off-road capable and is pretty nostalgic. Now, there's one thing I can really say that I like about the Bronco in general is that it has really become a cult following. It's very popular. It has done really well for Ford over the last, couple of years since it's been back. And just little things like that, is really what makes this Bronco quite special. Now, with that being said, this one does not have a window sticker, but I know by far this was very expensive back in 2021. And again, this was only this was only limited to 7,000 units in production, which is just really, really impressive. And seriously, being able to check one of these out is super cool. So with that said, guys, that's going to do it here for this walk around and tour of this 2021 Ford Bronco First Edition, finished off in lightning blue metallic with the ebony leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.